time to crack this baby open. Alright, AKAPADers, if you're new here, subscribe, support, leave a comment, promote this video to your pets. It's a cat-friendly channel. We're talking Jack Kirby today. I just, like a week ago, I did a IG live stream. This is part of a bigger effort for me just to spread more of my content around to all the other networks, because I want all of you wonderful people to see my passion, to see the things that I love, to see the power that runs through these veins. And it's Jack Kirby, okay? And so many of you, I love it. It's like, we got two issues here. One of them is, as soon as someone dies, right? We do a post and we get some social media like sympathy clout. As soon as someone dies, it's the weirdest thing. And then we get like 0 celebrations on birthdays. The whole like comic books social media sphere, high and low, for whatever reason, celebrating Jack Kirby's birthday just seems invisible to me. Now, this is, I think, my 4th year going of doing something for the King's B-Day. And the reason for that is because I remember, okay, I'm going to show it to you. It was like a 1998 black and white edition of the New Gods. And I bought that at maybe like the worst comic shop in New Jersey. It was the worst comic shop. It was called 10D. Everyone hated the owner. Everything was overpriced. You always felt like you were getting ripped off when you were there. It just felt dirty. But he had a great dog. I loved his dog. But I bought it. I didn't care. I saw the black and white artwork of Jack Kirby in that edition, and I finally, like, I had this, like, it was a coagulation of all of these other, like, interviews, conversations I had, and references to Jack Kirby, and it was like in that moment inside 10D, like, holding, like, I understood the ideas, the arguments. I understood why it was important to know that name. And I believe that was like a 4-part trade paperback series. There was a Mr. Miracle, like all the New Gods stuff. Mr. Miracle, Forever People, forgetting the 4th one. And then at that point, you would have to track down Dogs of War. Now, we're all spoiled because we get endless collected editions, like chronologically ordered Jack Kirby, oversized editions. I don't like the omnibus stuff. The omnibus stuff just drives me crazy. I don't understand why you would spend that much money for a book that you can't pick off your shelf and just read. Most people have to have a table, a special reading chair. They put a pillow on their lap. Look, people, I want the material. I want the content. I don't care if it's an original, if it's a reprint, or whatever it is. If I need to experience it, to put it inside this gray matter, I don't care what form. I think the people that hunt down the omnibuy, that are floppy original chasing or whatever, know the material first. And it really was that day when I read the New Gods for like the first time that I gripped the material. And in my view, even now, it just seems so advanced. It's awesome. Okay. So every year, this one was a little bit late because I was on a deadline, but every year I do something to honor Jack Kirby. And I want to do it with more comic book masters. I did a Bukowski one, Charles Bukowski. Frank Herbert, right? Like, with the Dune movie coming out, I have to do a Frank Herbert tribute. And very meaningful. Like, as I'm talking to you, like, I have like first editions of just about all but the first Dune book, like, staring right at me, because I regularly read Dune. Yeah, I did an Alan Moore one before, so you can just go to my website, akapad.com. There's a whole tribute section. But let's get to that live stream. Let's rock and roll. Oh, and if you have a chance, buy some UZI SUZI link down below. This is my mini comic. It's an outlaw comic, a true outlaw comic. All right, I think we're live. We are doing this. Everyone, I've been crazy busy, like super busy. That's no secret. It's no secret that I've had a couple setbacks. A part of all that, all that grind. Oh, we got some fellow AKAPADers coming into the house. But yeah, so look, I've been super busy. I fell behind on some of my broadcasts, some of my live streams. I really just wanted to, I don't know, spend Labor Day, catch up on a lot of it, and just do some drawing. Because I love drawing. We're going to do Jack Kirby, because we didn't do anything for Jack Kirby's birthday. This is maybe like the 4th year in a row I've done stuff for Jack Kirby. I like to do this. I think it's a part of the process of learning how to draw, learning how to do comics. Is like you really have to know who like the big guys are, the influences, and you really have to honor them. You gotta kind of pay your respects. There's no other respect to pay outside of Jack Kirby. We're going to draw him when he's in WW2. We're going to do some Kirby-isms on this. He's going to have, like, the helmet. The eyebrows are going to be busting through the rim of the helmet. He's going to have, like, chunks out of his helmet. He's going to have, like, straps. He's going to have extra gear. Like, you know, we're going to have fun with this, but we're going to try and make it look like an older Jack Kirby, even though he was way young when he was in WW2. Quick note, anyone out there that's into trading cards and supporting rising talent, rising stars, like your boy over here, if you go to akapad.com, you can sign up. You'll get on my newsletter list. You'll get weekly updates because I work on a lot of projects. I collab with a lot of people. And as a thank you, I'll send you Reza and Rex from the Wolfpack. How cool is that? So we got a lot of things coming. This coming week, I'm looking at as almost like a reclaimer week, for lack of a better term. We are reclaiming a lot of the lost time because I've had setbacks. I went on a family vacation, and almost every single day back from that family vacation, it was a major setback. So we're going to rock and roll. We're going to have a lot of fun. Cheers to everyone. This is my special blend. It's a muscle recovery, energy, cognizant function blend. I drink this all day. I might put up the... what's up, Skull Diamond? I might put this recipe up. If you guys really want to know what's in my special blend, let me know. Leave a comment. I'm monitoring the comments. It's right here. It's a little bit delayed. Even though I'm broadcasting from here, my comments are here. But if you guys want to know, just give me a shout out. And we'll be doing kind of 3 weekly shows about 3 regular projects of mine. Those will be available. I guess to some capacity, I'm going to get those also available on Instagram. So everything that I do when it comes to Facebook, YouTube, and my Twitter streams, I'm going to be putting up on IG, okay? Because, we're really good. Everyone is making efforts. Everyone within the AKAPAD army is making efforts to unify, make everything more available, things like that. We do have Skull Diamond 94 in the house. He's one of the, you can almost say he's an AKAPAD captain. He's one of the high-ranking members of the AKAPAD army. So, which I love. I just love the online communities. I love even Skull Diamond. That dude is so freaking creative. I love the fact that I know that him and I can rock out to a heavy metal concert. And Scully, I got Megadeth. I got Megadeth all locked in. I think it's the 15th of this month in Philly, if everything goes well with COVID. Most of Philly is over COVID, so that concert most likely will happen. So even though I pre-sketched this out, and the reason why I pre-sketched these out, I normally wouldn't do it, because I kind of like creating things absolutely from scratch live. But I kind of get better traction when I have preview images. So we'll tighten some of this up. I'm gonna give him like some really cool like 90s looking pouches here. Like 90s like straps and stuff. Like, and I remember, like, I don't know if anyone out there, like, when you find an influence to, like, what you do after that, to kind of, like, hold on to it. And I remember, like, when I first discovered Jack Kirby, it was, like, these black and white editions of the New Gods. And that was it. Like, that was the only way to get the New Gods, were these really cheap newsprint black and white editions in the early 2000s. And it wasn't even the artwork. It was reading it. Reading it really blew me away. And just, like, the way how much more loose the, like, storytelling was, and the narrative, and just, like, the, like, everything was just like life and death. It was just, to me, it was like perfect. And I always felt like, if you read the Jack Kirby stuff, right, which everyone, right, like everyone agrees, it's awesome. And if you read the stuff from Image, the, like, like the language isn't too different. It's really not. So I don't know, like, when people say that the early Image books didn't have good writing, it's really hard to know what the hell they're talking about. Because I really do feel like it's, I mean, Shadowhawk or Mr. Miracle, it's almost all the same. It really is. Because even like McFarlane, the way how he wrote Spawn, there's just a, like, almost like a inner like outward narration that happens in Spawn. It's kind of McFarlane talking to you, like narrating everything, and it's kind of not. And you get the same sense when you read the Kirby New God stuff. You get the same sense when you read the Inhumans by Kirby. So whatever. I guess haters are going to hate, right? Alright, yeah. So we're going to do some of this too, like the same way how we did Bukowski. Bukowski was a lot of feathering, a lot of like movement, a lot of motion. We're going to have some of that here. We're going to have, some of it's going to be a little bit less, because we're using blockier forms. So when you like sit down to draw, you always have to have a approach. You have to have a mindset. You gotta kind of know where you're going. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to end up there, but you kind of have to really be good with pre-visualizing some of that. I did a time lapse earlier today of Amadeus Chow, the Totally Awesome Hulk, for, kind of like Pride Month, Pride celebration. And I had the top of him visualized. Like, you guys can go back in my feed and see it. I had the top visualized. Like, the top part of the drawing. And I didn't have the lower part. And when I hit the lower part, my brain just it really froze. And I feel like I just botched the drawing because of that. But a lot of times when you record, when you do stuff live, when you do time lapses, and you're not digital, like that's a risk. Like it kind of like, that's almost like why there's so many pieces of art that I just want to redraw, because I draw them while I'm recorded, and I just don't really see it. I don't see why it's good sometimes. And look, that happens every once in a while. I feel like when I started, it used to happen all the time, but not so much. So after this, I may take a break. We're going to do some, I'm going to be hardcore computer coloring. And then I might be back later tonight to do another stream. But I'm really just trying to get ahead of the momentum when it comes to this one project. And by momentum, I mean, the work week starts tomorrow, so we all know what's going to happen sometimes. And sometimes I got pivots, sometimes I got to move really quick, which I absolutely love. Like, there's just a thrill that I get from being a little bit like a on-call, like IT weapon here in Philly. It's very satisfying because you endlessly deal with problems and solutions. Like you're collaborating with people, like a lot of dopamine, which I'm very much into. So we're going to just have this like helmet. It's going to have all these like, just like, it's going to be like beat up and destroyed looking. It's going to be looking pretty effing cool. Here we go. I think we're off. I always try and get a little bit more accurate with my quick ear renderings, just because like that's one of the cooler things when you follow an artist, is it's like everyone draws hair, ears, hands, boobs, but that's like really your stuff, and I love it. Like, I just love the idea of being able to tell an artist by the way how they draw hair, something like that, Oh, Golden Bear, you're back, dude. Thanks for hanging out. We're drawing for anyone tuning in, because we've had some different people already. We're doing a tribute to Jack Kirby. He is known as the King of Comics. Really the guy that's behind Captain America, X-Men, like even debatable, like the design for Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, like it's endless. Darkseid, the New Gods from DC Comics, and not only was he a career like illustrator, but really a career comic book guy. And his birthday wasn't too long ago, but I was just like too too busy, too caught up in things to do anything. So we're doing this as a makeup. Because, you know, we don't want to piss off the comic book gods, people. We want to honor the gods of the medium that we spend so much time in, right? I mean, think about it. You know, Jack Kirby, like, legit created, by today's standards, a billion dollar franchises, billion dollar characters. It's insanity. Like, the only other creator that's kind of close to that is J.K. Rowling with Harry Potter. That's almost like the only comparison you can make. If we're just going by today. But maybe, like, of all time, like, right? Like, who's got the most money within, like, IP creation? Yeah, you can kind of say Walt Disney, but he, you know, like, so much of that stuff was, like, studio work. As was Jack Kirby's time at Marvel. A lot of bullpen. Here we go. Just trying to create a little bit more, like, life and fun in these, like, eyebrows. Yeah, Pecker, 1,000%. I've said this, like, the only other two people of our generation that draws with, like, a Kirby fire is, like, Eric Larson, just through his poses and his dynamic, very dynamic, and then just Rob Liefeld with just being able to pull the cool factor out. And it really is, like, I think at one time, you know, like, I really looked at Rob Liefeld's, like, Prophet before Stephen Platt and Chuck Dixon kind of got their, like, dirty paws on it. But at one time, Prophet really was the Jack Kirby love letter, I thought, because it was so close to OMAC. You know, and then, look, I get it. Like, if you get Stephen Platt away from Marvel at the time, which was, like, that was, like, so huge. It's just, you know, like, you gotta let Stephen Platt do what Stephen Platt wants to do. Like, and that's really it. And you can really make that, like, you can see that between Prophets 4 and 5. Which is Liefeld's, like, biggest upgrade, I think. Other than what happened with Supreme. With the Alan Moore Supreme. Yeah, because a lot of his other upgrades I don't think worked that well. Like Bloodstrike going solo. I mean, I always felt like that was a mistake. I never felt like Bloodstrike should always be a freaking team. That's just science. Hey, dude, appreciate it. Really do, man. Appreciate it. Like, hey, dude, we, like, really, it's important to, excuse me, just having a sip. It's very important to know who came before you. It's important to know why, okay? Earlier this week, I did a Bukowski tribute. Because, you know, like, he's, like, Charles Bukowski, insanely influential with my, like, writing process, okay? And, you know, like, I wanted to do something for his birthday. Like, I've done, if you go to my website, AKAPAD.com, I think it might be under Hubs or Work. It's a drop-down menu, and I have, like, a tribute section. And it's just really kind of like a section I want to add more and more to as time goes on. Like, because it's critical. It's critical for you to appreciate. And when you do like a tribute, like you're forced to think about something. And I just think that like there's almost like a loss of legacy today. And then I know that makes me sound like an old curmudgeon. You know, like that really that really makes me sound like I'm a just like someone who doesn't like anything. But no, there's so much out there that I freaking love. But I do respect errors. You know, like I respect that a lot of this work came from different eras. So it's different. Like it's going to have a different meaning, a different intent, different purpose. I think a lot of that is missed today too. I think that's a little bit of the hyperboil when it comes to reviews, you know, like opinions. I don't understand how opinions are so freaking like all the Shang-Chi stuff or the Shang-Chi stuff coming out. It's just like, geez, like how does everyone have the same exact opinion so freaking quick if the publicity company's not dishing out talking points, right? But I'm all for kind of digesting material, taking your time, letting it sit, like not really you know, like jumping on like a bandwagon. And I do feel like we're in an age of review and like clickbait that controls these narratives. And, you know, like if you're running a news site or like a blog or like something like Collider, like it's almost like you're incentivized to do this stuff, but in a way too, like you have to follow some of these protocols now, because you know, like you gotta keep your site in business, you gotta keep your site relevant, so you go along with these talking points. Like everyone's like following like the same like trail almost when it comes to modern day reviews. I don't know if you guys like some of you feel that way, but I just feel like everything that I'm told isn't good, like I watch and I'm just like, well, you know, like it's not. Yeah, I mean, I just wish Rob Liefeld, when he was in like the zone, I really there's a side of me like the almost like the Heroes Who Born Rob Liefeld, like that style that he had for Captain America, which he later brought to Fighting American. Yeah, like I always felt like that was like his like true opportunity, style wise. And I never like I hated that you know, like he had like another weird outing, right? Like a bad business transaction that led to the closing of Awesome. And it's just like, fuck that. And, you know, like his Fighting American stuff was so freaking good. And he had like Stephen Platt coming in to do like the WW2 era Fighting American, and Liefeld would draw like the modern day stuff. I just love it. Yeah, so we're just rocking and rolling, everyone. And thank you too. Like I'm always flattered for anyone that hangs out during these sessions. You know, like it leaving comments, communicating. I mean, like this is the stuff that helps. It's almost like as good as giving someone money. Like helping someone on social media, an artist, like anyone, someone that's baking, someone that is, you know, like trying to do something on their own, yoga business, like, you know, like the list goes on and on. We all know those people. the biggest thing you can do is just almost like just be a cheerleader, like to help root for that person, reposting, like that sort of stuff. Because that's what's valuable today. It's like you don't need money if you have a social media reach. You really don't. So I was debating on coloring this like monochromatically, and I kind of wanted to do it purple. I wanted this whole thing to be purple. I don't know though. I don't know. Now I'm 50-50 on it. I always favor my work as black and white though. I think I just have a black and white mindset, like discipline when I create. And I hate changing. I hate adding color to whatever I do. I just hate it. I'm sure many of you feel that way. But some of it is like mindset. Like if you go into a piece and you want it to be black and white, you're going to like see it as black and white. Like you're going to think about it as black and white. And when it comes time to color it, you're not going to have the vision to complete it. So I've been trying to get better with designing opportunities to color in areas and so on, like, and so forth. Yeah, dude, like, hey, thanks so much. But no, like, it's just part of the new economy. And you know, like, it's not e-begging or anything. I just think it's like, I think back and it's like could you imagine if even like a young Rob Liefeld, young Jack Kirby, young Stan Lee, Walt Disney, young George Lucas, could you imagine if these people had social media? Like, they would just take it over. Which is what I'm trying to do. We're trying to take it all over, everyone. We're trying to rock and roll and change the game. Okay? We're changing the game. One post, one live stream, one interaction at a time. So real quick, let's cut into a commercial. It's commercial time for anyone still hanging out. These trading cards right here, they're available at AKAPAD.com. Sign up for my newsletter. The newsletter will be launching very soon. Hopefully this week. And you'll get like updates in the newsletter and offers and like all these things, because I offer a lot of creative services, high-end creative printing, all this stuff. But if you sign up for the newsletter, you get 2 Wolfpack trading cards. You get one of Rex and you get one of Reza, and I'll have other ones available. I'm already working on the 3rd one. There's a very cool like thank you message on the back that I don't reveal until you get them in the mail. Commercial time is over. Let's get back to drawing. But yeah, I mean, it's really just like one of those things where I think a lot of people too that get an audience with with little effort, or kind of already have an audience built in through like another industry or something. Because there's always like reasons why people pop on social media. Like, it's never as overnight as it seems. But yeah, I do feel like a lot of people take it for like they take it for granted and they don't know what they have. And I say, well, the hell with that. Yeah, like, I don't mind working for every single one of like all of you. I don't mind it. I think it's a part of the process, and I think it's fantastic. I mean, I just, like, I don't think it's very good, but I watched, like, a little bit of this documentary on Bob Ross on Netflix. And, yeah, like, at that time, like, that was the only way to see, like, live artwork. And there was only a few people doing it. And it's just like, and now you open up Insta, you open up Snapchat, and you just have your pick. Like, you can just choose who you want to watch. Ask questions, talk to people. Again, like, could you imagine a young Jack Kirby and you're able to see him on Insta and just ask him, like, questions? It's crazy if you think about that stuff. And that's why I really don't take it for granted. You know, like, I do stuff as often as I can. You know, like, I don't get tired. I just want to go. I just want people to see what I'm doing. Yeah. Maybe make a couple bucks along the way. Yeah, and I really wanted to draw Jack in a like some type of like military atmosphere, like, or military setting, because I just don't feel like there's enough of that. You know, like, that's also maybe like the coolest thing about Jack Kirby is that he fought in WW2. Yeah, Bob, like, I used to watch Bob Ross as a kid. Yeah, like, I used to, like, come home from school and you could watch Bob Ross. There was a guy that did, like, watercolors. There was Yen Ken Cook. Like, all these people. You know, like, it's... But, and then I would have, like, a VHS of how to draw comics the Marvel way. And just endlessly draw that. There was, like, another series called Comic Book Greats. And I had the Rob Liefeld one of that. I think I had the Liefeld McFarlane one, the creation of Lotus. And yeah, I mean, it was so, like, yeah, there was a barrier to entry just to see people create art. And now it's a part of our everyday life. It's a part of our culture. I just think that's so wild. I really do. Prince Eddie in the house. What's up, dude? How are you, Prince Eddie? We're just running through here now, like, adding some texture, like, pieces, and, you know, some, like, dings on the helmet. But we're almost done here. I may leave this black and white. I was going to color it, but I really like the black and white. We'll just do we'll do that for the title. We'll do Happy Birthday, Jack Kirby. There you go. So we know what this is for, right? All right, everyone. I'm sorry for anyone that joined in to where I got bounced, but we're done. Quicker one. Yeah, dude, thank you. Yeah, sometimes I want to just make a quick photocopy, because I have a photocopier. Make a quick photocopy of this on the nicer paper and then color it. But there's really something about, like, the pencil lines and all the mistakes that I love. Like, I really do. Like, to me, I feel like this should be like a comic. Like, a comic should look like this. It should look a little messy, a little bit dirty. But everyone, thanks for hanging out. Honest to God. Thank you. If maybe we'll do more late night stuff, because I don't know. Like, anything after 10 o'clock seems to do well on Insta Live. So maybe we'll just do, like, just be on the lookout. We'll do more late night stuff and we'll keep it going. Thank you.